Alright, you guys. So, this video is going to be the truth about being alone versus being around fake people. Okay? A lot of the times, you will surround yourself with fake people. You know, because of different reasons. Sometimes you won't even know this person's fake, right? But a lot of people don't understand that being by yourself, other than being around fake people, is way more peaceful. You know, and it's different when you feel like, okay, I don't want to force myself to be around these people, bro. I don't want to force myself to be around people that don't like me. I don't want to force myself to be around people that don't understand me. I don't want to force myself to be around people who probably don't have the same interests as me, the same hobbies, or that make or belittle my ideas or what I want to do in life. I don't want to be around them type of people, you know? And I feel like if you got to fake your personality, or you got to fake who you are or what you want to do in life, if you got to lie consistently, if you got to manipulate and stuff, these type of people, that means that you're around people that you don't genuinely fuck with, because that's why you're lying so much. That's why you're manipulative. That's why you can't be yourself. That's why you feel weird. And that's why you're not comfortable in certain areas, certain situations with certain people. You know, everything has a reason, you know, and sometimes you don't find out till later that somebody's fake or somebody don't fuck with you, right? But at the end of the day, at least you found out. You feel me? A lot of y'all will stay with fake people because of an aesthetic, because the person's pretty or they got money or they gonna help me out in life. But what are you doing for them? If you're below them, what are you doing for them? So that means they're genuinely fucking with you while you're over here using them for whatever asset it is, you know? And I think a lot of people fail to understand that type of shit, you know? I can never sit here and force myself to be around fake people, okay? I understand if it's for some money, if it's for a job or some case, because, you know, everything costs money in this world. So, yes, you got to provide for yourself or whatever, you know, do what you got to do. But when it comes to, like, I'm talking about genuine relationships, genuine friendships with people and stuff like that, hell no, cut these people off. Cut these people off. You know? And when I had cut certain people off and shit like that, I realized that in life there was a reason why they were doing these things. There was a reason why, you know, the universe and spirit was trying to get me to cut them off, or why I thought about, you know, cutting them off, or why I was thinking those things. I wasn't crazy, and people just didn't fuck with me. You feel me? They just didn't fuck with me. And, you know, afterwards, once you cut people off, yeah, it may hurt in the moment. It may hurt a day or two afterwards, but you will realize weeks, months later, that you cutting them off was the best thing that could have ever happened to you, because now you're not dealing with certain things. You're not listening to certain things anymore. You're not seeing certain things that you don't got to see no more. You know, a lot of different things. And some people, they don't realize they're more of a liability when it comes to your life. Y'all got to remember that, you know. You being around certain people could break you more than it could make you. All right. So, I don't know. People don't understand how being lonely feels versus how freeing it feels to be alone. There's a difference, you know. I feel like when people be lonely and stuff like that, it's because of different reasons. When you're alone and you choose to be, that's a whole different ball game. You feel me? So people don't understand that as well. Like, when you're lonely, you probably didn't choose to be that way. You know, when you're lonely, you probably wish you had that. You probably is doing certain things to where you don't be lonely. You know, some people will keep friends around and keep a significant other around, keep a hoe around, keep a family member around, because they don't want to be lonely. You know, versus somebody that does not care to be alone. If you don't care to be alone, it doesn't really hurt you to cut somebody off. Yeah, it's going to hurt in the long run because maybe you didn't want to, you know, but at the end of the day, you did what you had to do, and that's just how it go, you know? And what I learned from that shit is sometimes when you really don't want to cut somebody off, those are the people that you're supposed to cut off. Okay? Don't let these people show you 3, 4, 5, 10 times who they really are. Okay? You only need like to learn that shit twice. Some people gotta learn it 3 times because they're hard-headed, you know, or they don't understand why it's happening. Once you understand why it's happening, once you understand what's going on, once you understand that this is a blessing in disguise, get the fuck on from it. You know, it's better to be real with yourself than surround yourself by people who secretly envy you or drain you or don't even like you for real. You know, these people ain't worth it. They ain't worth it.